Hi sewing friends, today we're here sewing the new little vest and cardigan from the Jonson Pattern Studio collection. Christine has cut the pattern pieces out and now we're going to show you how quickly this goes together. So when you cut this, you should be cutting it with a rotary cutter and a rotary mat with a ruler to get nice clean edges. You won't be finishing these edges, so you want them to be nice and perfect. First, we're going to sew the center back seam. Okay. Christine's just lining up the edges of the center back seam, and she's going to go ahead and sew. You'll see how quickly this comes together. No pins are involved here. Just lining things up as you go, stretching it out. You see how she holds the fabric as she puts it through the serger. Stops every few inches to make sure. And that's it. That's our center back seam. So here we're sewing the shoulder seam, which is right here, and this extends back up into the collar. And we're going to sew this more open on our serger like that. Christine starts sewing this from the armhole. She's going to make sure she has everything lined up. You do not need to clip because the stretchiness of the jersey will allow you to sew this straight across. And that's it. That's our shoulder and collar seam. Okay, we'll zoom right in there so you can see there's our center back seam. There's our collar. There's our shoulder. No notch here. Now we're going to repeat exactly what we did on the other side. See, Christine holds it in place as she serges. And that's it. That's our next set of seams. And our last major seam is our side seam. We're going to sew those now. Now Christine is going to sew this side seam from the bottom up. You always want to sew anything that hangs from the bottom up. And again, because this is a longer length of seaming that she's going to do, she's going to just match that up together with her hands and sew every few inches. And just make sure she's got everything lined up. And we're sewing here with a 3/8 inch seam. And that is our first side seam. Now we're going to move on to our second side seam. Christine is sewing from the bottom up, and what she does is she starts at the bottom by holding those two edges together. Then she goes and grabs the top and holds those and doesn't let go. That keeps everything lined perfectly from top to bottom along the seam. So for this next tip, when we're going to take our serger thread ends and we're going to tie them back in, we're using a flat-tipped embroidery needle. We'll show you a nifty little trick to make sure that those threads don't come unsewn. Go ahead.
Okay.
So you're going to go ahead and pull the thread out, trim off the ends a little bit, thread it onto your flat-tipped embroidery needle. It's a pretty big eye, so it goes through there reasonably easy. Okay. And then Christine holds onto it. And goes back into the stitches, just like that. Then pops out, pulls that all the way back through, and pulls it to adjust, and now she's going to snip it off. Easy as that. Now your thread's all encased on the inside, nice and neat. That's not going to pull out of there, and look at that edge. Perfect. Look at how perfect that is. That thread is not coming out. No little hairs hanging off the edge. That tail is enclosed completely in the serged edge of the seam.
And then pull that. So if you want to pull it, you know, a little ways, so that when you pull it back, it's hidden in there. I'm just that. You want me to draw?
So Christina's marked this, and she's put a line where the fold line is going to be, so you can see how she picks this up and does the tuck. There you go. She's going to sew between the two dots with the fold line at her right. And she's back stitching on either end. And that creates the little tuck that's used to shape the front collar. And that's what that looks like on the right side. And that is our draped vest. You can see the nice lines in the front. That tuck aligns them perfectly so that they fall nicely from the shoulders, shoulder seams. Comes up a little bit high on the back neck. That's it.